Assalamu alaikum. I've had a lot of people asking me exactly how I reverted, and I know you've probably heard a million revert stories, but we all have our own, and this is mine. So, growing up, believe it or not, I came from an extremely closed-minded racist family. Dad's family in the KKK, Confederate flag hung above my couch, and my mother was a Yankee. She was a Christian, but she didn't really go to church or do any of these things. And my father, he's an atheist against everything in the world that has to do with God. Honestly, I don't really know what he even believes in, but whatever, to each their own. Growing up, I searched God. At 9, I saved myself. I asked for God into my heart to save me from this horrible life, and that was a choice that I made all by myself. I continued in the Christian church, non-denominational, and I was asking a lot of questions that no one could give me answers. I didn't understand the Trinity. I didn't understand why, my pastor would say, don't go to this church. They're crazy. They do things there that we don't accept. That doesn't make sense to me. That's not what religion should be. If you're Christian, you're Christian. If you're Jewish, you're Jewish. If you're Muslim, you're Muslim. There shouldn't be all these different sections and sects differing from each other. So that's really hard to comprehend and understand as a child. You want answers and you want clarity. So I became, 18, 19, 20 years old and started partying and living my life and having fun and doing all the bad things that all kids do. I lost God. I had no faith at all in anything. I forgot who he even was. Later on, I became a mother and I got divorced. That life kind of stayed with me. I still continued to party and have fun, and I was using my beauty to get places in this life. I was using my body and just being a woman to do something in this life, and it didn't work. It didn't get me anywhere, and I soon started feeling alone, and I felt like the people around me weren't really real and they weren't there for me, and I felt alone. And it was sickening. So I went back to the church. And all I noticed in the churches that I was going to was the pastors collecting money. They were never talking about anything that mattered. They weren't talking about this life and what's going on and how we can better it. They were just collecting money. That, to me, is wrong. Having a video camera inside of your church, videotaping people dancing and waving flags and playing rock music was not right for me. So it pushed me away again. But then I met someone who is Muslim, and I saw that their life was guided differently than everyone around me. They didn't live this life for themselves. They lived this life for God. And they never once told me convert or revert. I say convert because there's a lot of people who don't understand that word. But revert, they never pushed the religion on me. They never pushed anything on me. They just showed me how peaceful they were, how kind they were. And I got interested. So I picked up a Quran and I read it. And it didn't take very much of it for me to say, wait, this makes sense. The Bible never made sense to me, but the Quran made sense. It gave me guidance. It showed me how to live my life, how to treat my family, how to treat a husband, how to treat my friends, how to grow up, how to raise my children, how to be a good human being. And I never once picked out the bad things. Many people say, oh, the Quran says this, kill people and behead people. I never once saw the bad. I saw only the good. So I decided to go to a mosque. And while I was there, I saw this little boy who was maybe 2 or 3 years old, and he started reciting the Quran. And I swear I stopped right then and there, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And I said to his mother, you have something amazing. Look at this little boy. Look how he recites Quran. This is beautiful. And she said, MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. But we all do. And I was like, what? And so I started noticing all the children were reciting verses out of the Quran, and it's just something so amazing to me that a child so young could comprehend, could understand this. And that little boy is really the one that made me say, you know, I want this in my life. And shortly after that, I took my Shahada. And the minute that I said my Shahada, every fear, every loneliness I had just left me. And I didn't feel it anymore. And I knew what my purpose in this life was. And I knew why I needed to be here and to choose Islam. And it changed my life forever. It did take me a very long time to like embrace the hijab. I think at first for me it was like, ooh, something cool, something different, let me put it on. Now I wear it with pride and I love it and I feel so amazing. And I don't wear it because a man has told me to. I don't wear it because my husband beat me to wear it or forced me to wear it. I wear it because I love it. I love going to the store and buying a new hijab and not having to do my hair, of course. But it makes me feel really special, and I get a lot of respect from the people outside there. You know, people care what I have to say now. They don't just look at me for my beauty. They look at me as a woman, as a human being with intelligence. I chose this religion because it's what's best for me. And I had said this before in a prior video. It's what's best for me, and I love it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But I do want to say something to all the Muslim women out there. Please be careful what you do to the women who have just reverted. Please don't push them away. Please don't tell them, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. You are pushing them away with these words. Islam is not hard. Allah did not give us force. He didn't say live this life the way He says and that's it. We are all at a different stage and we are all going to get there eventually. Do not push other Muslims away. Don't say mean things to them and don't force them. Don't complain that they're not wearing hijab. Don't complain that they have makeup on. Let them be and guide them instead of pushing them away. Thank you so much.